On the agenda as discussion and action, possible action regarding purchase of Bonanza Flat. And when I told the chairman that I should have been a little more clear, this is contributing to the purchase of by Park City of Bonanza Flats. Wasatch County is going through a very rapid growth period. We're experiencing it now still. And I lived in the fastest growing county in the nation one time in Texas, Fort Bend County. And after all of the growth occurred, a lot of the citizens who have been there for a long time were not happy with the results. The comments were, why didn't our elected officials do more? Why didn't we require more open space? Why didn't we build more parks? We had all of these developers coming in and spending a lot of money. Why didn't we do more? I think that we do a good job in our development agreements of requiring open space. One thing, though, that we could do is participate directly in this purchase of Bonanza Flats. I'd like us to consider contributing between $10,000 and $50,000. Midway City has contributed $10,000. And one of the reasons is this: we have a great variety of needs in the county. And there are other lands that people want to see preserved. The area around Walford, the North Fields, Bonanza Flats, and others. It's not that one area is more important than the other. It's that this movement or this effort for Bonanza Flats is further along in the process than most of the other efforts. The North Fields efforts has been going on for a longer amount of time, but it's a more complex issue, I think, because the North Fields, we're talking about transfer of development rights, purchasing development rights, whereas most of the time when someone comes to me as a council member and says, you guys need to do more for open space, or you should require these people who live over here to do X, Y, Z with their land, my first response is almost always, if you want to control what happens on somebody else's land, you should buy it. And in this case, this is what they're actually doing. They're actually purchasing the land. So I think that's the most morally correct way to approach a land preservation or conservation effort. And so also, one thing that we have done a lot to preserve open land. We've just never participated in a purchase of this type. But if you look on the plaque here that Councilman Peterson led us to do a couple of years ago to create that plaque, our vision statement, it says, and I'll read part of it here, Wasatch County is recognized as a desirable destination to live, work, and play. We are dedicated to honoring and protecting the high quality of life we enjoy and are committed to creating a unique sense of place. Under purpose, it says, through thoughtful planning and zoning that manages the impacts of growth, the county strives to balance the preservation of the area's highly valued rural and agricultural character with promotion of clean and sustainable economic, residential, recreational, and tourism development opportunities. One of the things that concerns me is that if we don't participate in this effort when we have the opportunity, it will be difficult for us to be taken seriously when we talk about how we want to preserve open space, how we want to conserve land use when these type of efforts come forward in the future. I am not a person who thinks $10,000 is not a lot of money. I think it is a lot of money. And I've presented that I'd like us to be in a range between $10,000 and $50,000. Again, $10,000 because that's what Midway donated. And so I leave it to the pleasure of the council. What are your thoughts?
So maybe just a little bit more information before we express some thoughts on that. I'm just curious, where are they at on it right now? The purchase price is $38 million. They were short $3 million. Is that correct, Rick? You know,
I believe they're still in that $3 million mark. You know, there's been several entities that have stepped up. I believe it was Salt Lake City stepped up about $500,000 recently, or no, and it was another water conservancy company that did that. And if you go back to the last council meeting, I actually asked you for the 3 million difference.
Right.
$50,000 is such a great compromise. Would love to see that $50,000 move forward. I know you're going to be losing a lot of tax revenue for future, but this is an investment in your county, the other counties, goodwill with the other ones. If you look at the alternative of the development that could go in there and the cost that could go with that, that moves with that, $50,000 is not a lot of money to preserve what is such a great area from or for Wasatch County, for everybody to enjoy and use for, forever at this point, because it will be blocked out.
Is there a deadline as far as?
June 15th.
June 15th. Okay. And has anybody approached the bank to see if they would reduce the price a little bit? I mean, $38 million wasn't worth that a few years ago without water and sewer. So it almost seems to be a little overpriced. Has anybody ever approached the bank and said, why don't you just reduce your price a little bit?
I don't have the answer to that. I do, from everything that has been brought public, it was, part of the bidding price between the developers and everything else, and Park City was able to negotiate that price. I don't know that they're going to come backwards.
Okay. We all want open space, number one, like you mentioned. Number two, the option was to buy it, somebody's buying it, and that's good. So number three, what role does the government have to play in using taxpayers' money to buy it? And that would be a question I would throw out there. What role do we have to participate in this? Any thoughts?
Well, what are your thoughts on it, Mike?
I'm opening up to you first. Anybody in the audience as well?
Well, I think we do have a role somewhat. I mean, we represent the citizens and the taxpayers of the county, and there's been a lot of conversation over this and a lot of talk about it. I don't know if it was, we certainly can't do the $3 million, but I think we could show a token of appreciation for what Park City's doing. We got the rap for creating that value up there, which we didn't do. That would never happen if Park City would not have stepped up and provided the amenities to it, because we told the developer, unless they provide water and sewer, there's no way they were going to develop that property. Next thing we knew, Park City came over with a development agreement saying we'll provide it. So that's it. But I think we should maybe look at doing something, and I think this should be just the first step as we look for open space. In the last 12 years, while we've been on the council, the county's acquired about 21,000 acres of open space through the development agreements and different things. So we have been looking at it and trying to do what we can. But what we're not getting is the quality open space that the valley really wants and needs. And so I think this would be a first step in setting a precedent that we are willing to preserve open space. And when we propose something on the valley floor, I'd like to see the same amount of support for it from the citizens as well as from the council.
One thing I did have written in comments, and I didn't say it because it may not have been germane, but because you said it. One thing, I brought this up in early 2015, and I brought it up again 4 or 5 weeks ago, is that perhaps the county council should place on the next appropriate buyout cycle a bond election for open space and let the citizens vote on how much they want to participate in purchasing open space or development rights.
Yeah, and I think that time I told you that I think it's best, because we tried this a number of years ago, push an open space program, and the comment we got, this is the government taking. You're trying to take our property. So I think it'd be better to have a citizen initiative to start this process, and then we just pick up the ball and run with it after that to show that the citizens are behind it.
What is just for people in our, what is the process for that? They have to go through a petition? What is the?
I think it's, and since we don't have an attorney here, is it?
We do have an attorney.
Oh, a new attorney.
Yes.
We're breaking it in.
Okay. I don't know how many names they have to collect.
I can't remember.
Tracy, do you have an idea?
On the referendum petition, it was like 2,100.
Percentage of the last
Right.
election.
Right.
25%, isn't it? 25,
No.
wasn't that many?
I think it was like 10% of the last presidential election, or of voters,
Yeah.
not of population, but of voters
Is it of registered voters or people who actually vote?
who actually voted.
Yeah.
But, you know, just to say this, it doesn't take an initiative petition to put it on the ballot. You know, from having have done referendum petitions, it would be nice if the council just went ahead and put it on the ballot. The public still gets to vote whether they want it or not.
But I think it would be good if we had a request from some of the citizens to do that, to show that there is support for it. Just for the council to put it on, it's a lot like the pool situation. We put the pool on, people said, well, you had no business putting it on. The taxpayers should be the one to put it on.
I might have a comment on a little different aspect of this, and that is that, and this first part I think goes without saying, but we would want, I would suggest that any donation that we made had some conditions on it. One, which I think is kind of obvious, is that the space is open to the public, that all citizens can go and have access to this open space, and also some language that I don't know exactly how it would state about the water rights and the watershed staying in Wasatch County.
I thought there were some restrictions on it as far as motorized vehicles, so you couldn't snowmobile on it, you could ride four-wheelers on it. Is that true?
That is not true as of yet. The documentation that follows up has not been decided. That is an ongoing discussion. Obviously, that affects our world greatly, with that. And, I think there needs to be some sort of public access to it, depending on summer and winter is going to be completely different. I do know that from what I'm hearing, they do want to not maintain a winter access. So parking will be an issue, depending on who you are and what you are. I have a meeting on Friday with the Park City Mayor. These are some questions I could follow up with and find out what their intentions really are with that. That's what this meeting is specifically about. Our little community has raised, just within ourselves, almost $50,000 towards this, which, for as small as we are, that's a pretty good number.
I also would be in favor of it if we could get some conditions of how motorized access, at least on existing roads, and snowmobile access, maybe some hunting ability. It's going to be open space. I think that ought to be conditioned also.
When we talked about this previously, we were going to draft a letter of moral support for this effort. Maybe if we do approve to send some funds, along with the funds, we send a letter of moral support, financial support, and the conditions that we'd like to see outlined.
I think the condition we ought to place on it if we do this is that we have a voice in the creation of the conservation easement that will be placed on this property.
Well, it's a small percentage of what the entire cost of the property.
You can add one more zero to that and really have a strong voice.
I think what we're looking at, we're going to have to take this out of reserves, and where we don't want to have to borrow for tax anticipation notes. I'll make the motion, we donate $25,000 to this purpose, with the condition that we have a voice as it comes to creation of the conservation easement.
Second.
We have a motion or a second. Any further discussion?
Yeah, I'd like to, wanted to see, I was curious to see here in the audience, get a poll, and just by the raise of hands, who's in favor of us donating money to that? And who are opposed? Okay.
Don't name that at me.
Are you raising your hand? Are you raising your hand?
I raised the other one.
So, I'll probably vote against this, but I Because what I'd like to do is I'd like to see an open house and invite the public, you know, and I'm not opposed to a token because 25,000 is kind of like just a token amount compared to $38 million. I'm not opposed to the token amount, but it'd be nice is to get the public's involvement, and maybe they'll say, hey, let's do $100,000. So I'd like to see an open house and involve the public because we have time. It's June 15th is the deadline, so we really don't need to make a decision tonight.
Further discussion? We have a motion on the table. Councilman Good?
Yes.
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 No.
Yes.
You can still have an open house fundraiser.
Go.
By the way, can I just add this? Wendy Fish, is Wendy here? Because I don't know if
No.
she said she might come. Wendy said that whatever amount that we come up with, if we come up with any dollar amount, she will attempt to get a matching challenge grant going to match whatever amount we put forward. Hopefully we can turn this into 50.
And I just want to follow up on your comment, Mike, that I totally agree with that. And I think there are lots of citizens, including several who raised their hands in this room, that should put their money in, put a little skin in the game. And I think we could facilitate that. Be happy to consider a train ride along the way.
Oh,
Okay, item number